Hey, what's up, everybody? I am DJ Cass. I am the co-host of PWF Empire's Friday podcast, but I decided to do a little bit of an individual video of my own. Now, most of you that know my channel, I usually do the regular show review, but this is not what this is about. I decided to actually do something that I don't usually do, and that's review TNA Bound for Glory 2016. Now, hold the phone. I know you're here and saying TNA Bound for Glory. The last two Bound for Glory shows have been terrible. But however, I'm actually gonna go ahead and say I actually thought this was a decent show. Now I'm gonna go by the matches quick. I'm not gonna like bore you with the details or anything like that. I'm just gonna zoom by this quick. So, Bound for Glory 2016. Real quick though, I will say I really need to give TNA credit because this was a pay-per-view that almost did not air, and I'm one of the wrestling fans that are willing to be optimistic and just be like, these guys deserve to have an opportunity in the spotlight, in the sunshine, even if it is something as small as TNA. You gotta give them some credit. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say it off the bat. Now, Bound for Glory 2016. We kicked off the show with Trevor Lee taking on DJZ for the X Division Championship. This match was fantastic. Like I honestly thought this was a really solid opener, and if you know your TNA history like I do, you can never go wrong with an X Division Championship match opening up the show. Yeah, they've always opened it with Ultimate X, so either way, you can always open up with the X Division. Fast-paced action, always going, flying all over the place. I will say though, the crowd really wasn't into it as I thought they would, because like I said, you can't go wrong with the X Divisions to kick off the pay-per-view, but it did take a while for the crowd to get in. They didn't really get in it towards the end. Trevor Lee, I'll be honest with you, from what I've seen, he is one of the most underrated wrestlers on the Impact Wrestling roster right now. He may be in the X Division, but he can work like such a fast-paced match, but he can also ground you on the mat. And DJZ, that guy's just good. Like honestly, when he had the X Division Championship in 2012, he was actually one of my favorite heels at that time when he was the champion. But for some reason, I had him drop the damn belt to RVD, which was a dumb decision. LOL TNA decision. But yeah, solid over, really something that you need to check out. And again, oh, real quick, shout out to Trevor Lee for, I don't know who did it. I think it was DJZ, but apparently the Canadian Destroyer was used in this match, which was also great. So yeah, definitely a solid over to get the show started. Now, this is the match where I thought was kind of the worst of the night. The Bound for Gold matchup. Here's the thing. I'm just gonna go ahead and say the tag team names because I don't even know. The two members of the Tribunal were in this match. The Bromans, of course, Jesse Goddard and Robbie E. Tyrus, Eli Drake, Mahabali Shira, Grado, and Braxton Sutter and Rockstar Spud. This match was so off. Like honestly, like the match I felt was just so off because there are a lot of guys in that ring that you just don't care about. And other than Tyrus, Eli Drake, there really wasn't anybody who could have won that Battle for Gold match because Battle Royals are just so difficult to do, especially when last year they had some surprises, but they didn't really like pop out. This one didn't have any, and you just kind of saw like this is what Impact had to offer. And then as it got to the final couple people, Eli Drake is Bound for Gold. I like Eli Drake. I really like his shtick. Dummy, yeah, dummy, yeah. I really like his shtick. I actually thought he was one of the most underrated champions that Impact had when he was the KOTM champion, aka the King of the Mountain champion, which was the worst championship that TNA ever made. But he was a good champion. Like, he actually made that championship meet so until they had him drop the belt to James Storm, which I did not agree with. But yeah, glad that he won the matchup. He was the right guy to win, and I do like the way that he won in the end. Like the camera view did a good job of keeping Eli Drake out of the action. But again, the crowd just wasn't like into this one as they were into the X Division match. But yeah, Eli Drake, dummy, yeah. Glad that you got the win. Next match of the night, Moose taking on the Miracle Mike Bennett. Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis are so underrated right now. Like seriously, ever since Mike Bennett joined TNA, like honestly, everything that his character, the way it is, he's delusional. Like he actually believes everything he says, but as the viewer, you can't help but just sit there and say, he's actually right most of the time. And yeah, Moose versus Mike Bennett. This is actually a match that was better than I would hope, and I'm just so proud of two ROH guys, and Mike Bennett and Moose finally getting on a big stage. Even if it is TNA Bound for Glory, it's still TNA's biggest pay-per-view of the year, and they're on a big show. Moose's entrance, I thought, was very good. Like, to prove it that it's the biggest night of the year by going all out for an entrance. And that's what makes the night so special. But yeah, this match was good. Very a lot of back and forth action. I do say though, Mike Bennett really needs to work on that cutter. Because his cutter is sloppy at times. And Moose, how in the world did WWE miss or drop the ball of not trying to get this guy? I guarantee you, if Moose is a free agent after a year, WWE is going to try to get him. But yeah, Moose, he picks up the win. I'm fine with Moose picking up the win, but I would have preferred having Mike Bennett get the win because, well, maybe as a result of what happened later, but I'll get to it. I would have felt that Mike Bennett would have got the win if he really wanted to continue this feud, because I felt as if the feud was fine, but they kind of like rushed it a bit when Moose turning on Mike Bennett like a month later after he debuted. So I'm fine with Moose getting the win. I just would have had Mike Bennett win, because if you wanted to continue the feud, then you would have let the Moose's big win over Mike Bennett mean much more. Because Mike Bennett, if there's anything that TNA does very well, they don't do that 50-50 booking mess that WWE does, where one guy loses one week, then the rival wins the next week. No. Mike Bennett and EC3 are the only guys that are rarely get pinned, and they protect them. They protect the characters. So yeah, definitely a good match. Need to check that one out. I believe the next match was to crown the new Grand Championship. Aaron Rex, who is taking on Eddie Edwards, who originally Drew Galloway was supposed to be his, but unfortunately he got hurt. Hope Drew Galloway gets better. This match was so off because I felt as if Drew Galloway would have been part of this, and again, it's not his fault. And honestly, it's not Eddie Edwards' fault either. It's actually not TNA's fault either, because it's just like they had the match that they wanted. And I honestly think if Drew Galloway would have been a part of this match would have been much more. But the fact that unfortunately Galloway got hurt and Eddie Edwards got into the fold, it just kind of felt awkward. I will say though, a lot of people say that the fake MMA concept for the Grand Championship is complicated. I do agree with that, but I do say that Impact Wrestling is at least trying something different, which is what they don't usually do. In this Grand Championship, if anything, I like the belt. Like, the belt looks nice to me. And after three 5-minute rounds, Aaron Rex wins by decision via the judges. Aaron Rex, aka Damien Sandow, he really needs to find himself a character, because right now all I see him as a dude that's just a bitter WWE guy and just trying to find an opportunity. And maybe that's the game. Maybe I'm just not getting it, but they put Aaron Rex with the championship. I seriously wish Galloway wouldn't got hurt, because Aaron Rex winning that championship to me is just way too early. And honestly, they didn't have no choice, and I really do think if Drew Galloway was a part of this, he should have been the one to win that. But hey, Aaron Rex, congratulations. Weird to know that the crowd booed him. I found that very interesting. That was a very bipolar crowd, but yeah, that was fine. Next we had up was Gail Kim's Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Not really much to say here. I mean, it was actually a fine little moment. I did like they added Christy Hemme, Taryn Terrell, and Awesome Kong. Taryn Terrell and Gail Kim had some quote-unquote knockout matches in Impact Wrestling when Taryn Terrell and Gail Kim were still around. Awesome Kong, I don't even need to go over that resume. Yeah, happy to know that Gail Kim is actually some part of Hall of Fame. Really sucks that she was part of that tremendous divas era of WWE, because they just misused her so properly. But at least she went back and she made a name over somewhere else. So yes, that was definitely something. I kind of like the fact that they had Robert Irvine just like show up and just be like, okay, these people must know who this guy is, because he's a famous chef. I definitely knew who he was. So what else did we have on this card? Oh yeah, the great Decay versus the Broken Hardys for the TNA World Tag Team titles. This match was fantastic. I don't even know if I can call it a match. Like, it was essentially a combination of Falls Count Anywhere, Monsters Ball, No Holds bar or whatever you want to call it. Like, this match was all over the place. I love the fact that Matt and Jeff Hardy have just found a way to revitalize themselves in, not to say that they weren't relevant before, but broken Matt Hardy and his brilliance has just found a way to make something into this, and I'm glad that Jeff's into it too. Rebby Sky, like, I wasn't really big on her at first, but she's really coming to her own into like this little broken Hardy's trio. And Decay, honestly, Decay, they are the few things that's original that TNA has done this year that has just went and worked. And like I said, this match was just all over the place. It was pretty much a continuation if you've seen Delete or Decay, but I felt this was better. It looked like that they had pre-taped some of the shots before the match, which honestly would make sense because not really much to complain. I love the fact that they brought back Willow. That was a nice touch in the match, and this match was just crazy. I mean, it was just all over the place, and honestly, again, it was something different from Impact Wrestling, which is what we've been begging. I've been begging TNA for such a long time. They've actually really gone outside the box. They did something different. WWE Raw, take notes. And as it was all said and done, Jeff Hardy, he jumped off swanton off the ladder onto a table on Crazy Steve, and the Broken Hardys are your new TNA World Tag Team Champions. Interesting decision to go with that, because it's like, you really need to give more, like, I'm a tag team aficionado, you really gotta find some teams that can be credible enough to take on the Hardy Boys, because honestly, unless they're Decay, they can overshadow any other tag team on that roster. But I'm fine with the Hardys winning the belts, because if you have something hot, then you better go along with it. Yeah, definitely. Hashtag Great War. This was hands down the match of the night. Next match we had was the Knockouts Championship. Maria Kanellis defending the title against Gail Kim. Nothing really to say about this. Nothing at all. Gail Kim win. The John Cena of the Knockouts division down there. LOL, Gail Kim wins. Again, Maria Kanellis, it's funny because when she was in WWE, she had no personality to her whatsoever. But yet she was able to come out and do this, which is beyond me. But honestly, who cares about the match? What we got afterwards, I thought was great. We had the debut of Cody. Yeah, I know, not much of an original name, but aka we all know Cody Rhodes, and debuting with his wife, Brandy Rhodes. And I like this, which definitely explains the fact that why they had Moose pick up the win earlier, because this definitely gives Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis another feud to get into, and also this benefits Cody and Brandy Rhodes. So I like the decision right here. I really cannot wait to see what's going to happen with Cody. I'm just going to call him Cody Rhodes because that's what we all know him as. I cannot wait to see what they're going to do with him for here. Going to be some great stuff. Like, I'm just so happy that Cody he found a place that he can go to where he can at least get an opportunity. But he definitely needs to have more of a gimmick or a character, much like Aaron Rex. He needs a gimmick. Yeah, I can't wait to see what Cody and Brandy Rhodes do. Like, I'm actually looking forward to Impact this Thursday. Yes, people, I said it. Now, the main event. The TNA World Heavyweight Championship, which, by the way, they did some really good video packages for this show. Lashley, the Destroyer, who has honestly been the best heel champion in 2016, which sucks because a lot of people are so disfranchised with TNA that they don't even know that Lashley is doing this dominant stuff. Defending his title against EC3, Ethan Carr III. I thought this main event was good. I thought it was really good. The stipulation was no holds barred, and honestly, I like the psychology because no holds barred is not necessarily you can use weapons. Like, you can use weapons, but no holds barred is technically you just fight. Like, you just use your fist. When you're in the ropes, you can choke him out anytime you want. Like, you pretty much can just, like, fight him. Like, just straight up backyard, straight up fight him. And I like the fact that they didn't use many weapons because in a no holds barred, you really don't need weapons. Like, Lashley's gimmick, he's the Destroyer. He doesn't really need a weapon because he himself, his body is already a weapon. And EC3, he calls himself the ass-kicking machine, which is honestly a cheap-ass nickname that I've ever heard in professional wrestling. But yeah, I thought the main event was really, really solid. Like, definitely need to go out of your way to check it out. And in the end, Lashley takes out EC3 by doing a top rope spear, which honestly is probably the perfect way you're gonna see in today's age. And Lashley retains. I'm totally fine with Lashley keeping the belt because honestly, again, strike while the iron's hot with Lashley being the champion. It would have been nice to have EC3 win it, but honestly, EC3 to me is more of a chaser when he's a face than he is if he would have won it tonight. Battle for Glory 2016 overall, like I said, it was a decent show. The Battle for Gold match was the worst of the night. Match of the night, like I said, was hashtag The Great War. And the main event, definitely want to check out. Check out the opener for the X Division match. Like I said, a lot of people are so disfranchised with TNA, but this was a show that almost did not air. And the fact that they were able to pull off a decent show that I was entertained through, I'm willing to give Impact Wrestling, TNA, whatever you want to call it, credit. But yeah, that was my review of Battle for Glory 2016. Let me know how I did, and let me know what you thought of Battle for Glory 2016. Again, check out the show. It's decent at best. Alright, I'm DJ Cass, and that is my review of Battle for Glory 2016. See you around.